Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here. Welcome back to another episode of Jet Domination. You guys know me, every now and again I have to go back to the Battlefield greats of old, this time of course Battlefield 4, and get back in that good old attack jet. You really can't find anything like this in Battlefield 2042. Unfortunately the jets there are just, they're not really up to par, are they? Let's face it, they're a bit rubbish. So if you want to get some good jet fun in a Battlefield game, you're pretty much going to have to go back to Battlefield 4 at the latest. So we're playing on Hainan Resort here, and actually we joined this game, and it's about halfway through. You can see we're down to almost 400, around 450 tickets right now. The enemy team have quite the lead on us, but we do have more flags capped than they do. So this is kind of like the last half of the round, and I decided for this one that I would jump in the attack jet and try and see what I could do to help my team pull this one back. Because I think earlier on, they were actually like 300, 400 tickets ahead of us, so we have actually started to pull this one back quite a bit. Now, I'm using the JDAMs here, and as you can see, I'm trying to go for their armor on the ground, mainly targeting those annoying LAVs, and I do have a wingman in the sky, at least most of the time in this video. I'm not sure, no, Doritos, he's not in the stealth jet at the moment, but that guy in my squad, CEO of Doritos, some of you may recognize him. Most of this round, he is wingmanning for me, so once we're not on direct comms, on Discord or anything, we do communicate a little bit in the server chat, and you guys will see just how far that can actually go. So getting into a dogfight with the enemy attack jet at the moment, it looks like whoever was in the stealth jet wingmanning there has died to the enemy attack jet, I believe. So I am left with no other cause but to take him down myself, and he is going over the enemy deployment here. So it's always a bit of a dangerous game if you get into a dogfight like this over the deployment, because, I mean, you can see the AA turret is going for me there. For those of you who don't know, if you are spotted in Battlefield 4 and you're over the enemy deployment, there is an automatic AA turret that will shred you to bits. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to nail him there, and I see on the minimap on the air radar the stealth jet is coming in, so I'm going to have to hightail it out of there, and unfortunately here, I do get taken out by him. So that was a mistake by me. I shouldn't have dogfought him over the deployment. But hey, you live and you learn. Everybody gets a bit greedy at sometimes and makes mistakes. Now this time around, I have switched away from the JDAMs, and I'm going to go for the rocket pods. And this time, instead of concentrating on vehicles, I'm actually going to try and farm as many infantry as you can. And I know what you guys are going to say, Ghost, you sweaty infantry farmer you. And you're absolutely right, of course, as I almost crash into the ground there. But thank God for Battlefield 4 vehicle collision mechanics. So what the thought is the more infantry players I kill, the less tickets they will have. Those of you who've probably played Battlefield for some years will know that generally the way that the ticket system works is that you get a bleed from capturing flags, but the enemy team also lose 1 ticket for each death that their team incurs. So by taking the rocket pods and going for the infantry, I'm definitely going to score more kills than if I just go for their vehicles. What's more, usually most of the time, as I mentioned, I do have a wingman going for the jets, so they're not really a massive problem. Although I am taking down the attack jet there myself, so come on Doritos, stop slacking mate, what's going on? Going for the attack boat here though, because that is a big threat, and as you can see right there, that little glowing dot was a TV missile that he launched at me. You have to always be aware of those. They are not as visible in this game as they currently are in Battlefield 2042, so you really do have to be aware. Don't get too greedy, and you know, if you see one launched, just back away, loop around, and then go back for the kill. Now right here, the enemy stealth jet is absolutely making a beeline for me. He's afterburnering across the entire map, and he does not care about my deployment at all, so I've actually spotted him in a rear view camera. And yeah, Doritos was on him as well in the stealth jet there, doing some fine wingman work, but I think at the end of the day, he just got killed by the AA that I was mentioning before. That can be very deadly if you get too greedy. Yeah, as he says in the chat there, the base got him. So here we go, continuing to get some infantry kills here. I do feel like getting infy kills in this game is kind of easier than in Battlefield 2042. In a way, I mean, there are more players in 2042 if you're on a 128 player game. However, in this game you can spot people by hitting the spot button, which on PC is Q. So every time I'm looking down at the ground here, you know, I know this map very well at this point, so I know where the enemies are going to be. And indeed, you guys will see me flicking between that large map there, because a lot of the time, even though you can't see somebody 3D spotted, you can see them on the big map. And then you know sort of what direction you should 3D spot in. So I go and look down there, I 3D spot, I find these snipers hiding up in the hills, and then it's just an easy kill, honestly, with the rocket pods. After this game, I think it was after this game, I think they removed spotting. I don't believe spotting... Was spotting a thing in Hardline? I don't know. Comment down below if you can remember. Honestly, I don't remember too much about Hardline. I think it was a little bit of an underappreciated game, but it was certainly not one of my favourites. Not better than BF4 anyway. But after that, in BF1, they started to remove the spotting, I think. Or was it BF5? I honestly can't remember. At some point... Anyway, they got rid of the spotting and decided that it was a little bit too overpowered. I guess, in a way, they're kind of right. But, I mean, look at the spotting in Battlefield 2042 now. You know, you get an assist just for spotting someone. I think that's kind of odd to me. You can just throw a motion ball into a room of enemies and get, like, 10 assists for not even stepping in there. And you get the same amount of points for the guy who actually scored 5 kills. That's kind of backwards. I'm not sure it's really better than having the spotting system we have in BF4, but whatever. Anyway, getting back to the game at hand here. Score is actually going really well for us. We're about 300 to 200 tickets, so it's looking like we're going to come out on top in this game and we're going to win this one. Now, one of the detriments to actually using the rocket pods, though, in the jets over the JDAMs is you aren't going to be as effective against armored targets as you would with the JDAMs. So now that there's a couple of LAVs up, they're not really a massive threat to me, but they are going to farm our infantry. I need to go and work on it. And you also notice that that little icon down there, that was an AA mine. That dude there, I think he's called the Chris. I think I kill him in this game like 10 times. I actually feel really bad for the dude. I wasn't specifically going for him, but you can see he's gotten his AA mines out like a good little soldier, and he's going to try and make my life as miserable as possible with them. So, good job, Chris, but unfortunately it's not going to work for him. So attack jet's up there. I'm going to leave him because I see Doritos is on him. He's in the stealth jet. The stealth jet is vastly superior to the attack jet in terms of dogfighting, and I just trust Doritos that he's going to take that target out and that he's noticed that target. So I'm just going to leave it up to him. It's also a good idea sometimes if you know your wingman is going for the enemy jets to just leave him for those targets. You don't want to get too greedy, even though you could potentially take them down yourself, because there's always that slight chance that you will run into a collision with your wingman, and I think we've all been in that situation. It is rather embarrassing when you're both good in the jets and you're both being greedy, trying to take down some noob, and then you end up crashing into each other. It's kind of funny for the guy in the enemy jet, but it's definitely not what you want. Now, the enemy stealth jet has just spawned in here. I do not see Doritos. He's on the map there coming, but I've got a shot on the guy. So in that situation, I am going to go for him. Maybe Doritos was shaking his head there and thinking, wow, do you have to steal all the kills, Ghost? But, you know, sometimes if you have a shot, you should just take it. You've got to kind of use your judgment with that sort of stuff, I think. So coming in here on this tank specifically because I've noticed that Doritos has just dropped a laser guided missile on him, so that's going to make it much easier to finish him with the rocket pods. I kind of forgot to finish what I was saying earlier about rocket pods, but as previously mentioned, it's generally harder to take down enemy armor with rocket pods over JDAMs because you just don't have the time to dish out. You just don't have the airtime to expend all of your munitions. You know, it takes time to fire the cannons, it takes time to fire the rocket pods, whereas with the JDAM, those things with a direct hit will do 50 damage to enemy armor, and it's something that you can drop right at the end of your strafe, and it really takes no extra time. So you can do 50 damage with the cannons, the last 50 with the JDAM, and you can just one strafe armor in that way if you're accurate enough. So boom, down goes another LAV, again containing the poor Chris. Poor old Chris, eh? Don't worry, I'm sure he'll get his revenge one day. I really like punishing the snipers in those hills there. A lot of players like to stay there. They stay alive for a very long time because if our infantry don't bother to go and counter-snipe them or flank them or something, then generally speaking, they're just like tickets that will never be gotten rid of. And actually at the moment you can see they're starting to pull this back a little bit. That stealth jet is really going for me right now. He's right up my jacksie, and Doritos is going to come in there and save me. A lot of the time, I make the assumption that the stealth jet will not chase me over my deployment because most people know that they will die in that situation, but that guy seems to have had a kamikaze mission, and you know, he just really wanted to go with me there. Now you will notice in the chat as I kill the Chris, he's not actually called Chris, he's called Kurz or something, but we're going to call him Chris because I like to feel more relatable. You'll notice in the chat, guys, it says chopper jet limit Ghost Gaming 35 out of 35. So there does appear to be some sort of a hard cap on how many kills you're allowed to score in a jet or a chopper in this particular server. I was not aware of that when I joined, and it now says that I'm wanted apparently. So at this point in the round, I'm pretty much expecting to get kicked because some servers in BF4 do have an automatic admin kick. So whether an admin is present or not, once you surpass a certain amount of kills in a jet or a heli, you know, whatever it is, then you'll get kicked from the game. But I figure, what the hell, if I'm going to get kicked, I'll get kicked. Let's just keep on going. We're almost at the end of the round, and we are about 40 tickets ahead, and it looks like we're going to win, so let's just go for it. Anyway, luckily for me, it seems that it's just a warning, and there has to actually be an active admin to kick you from the game. So, spoiler alert, I don't get kicked. Anyway, going for the enemy attack boat once again here. They do really like to just stay kind of in the deployment there, I've noticed a lot of the time. If they go around the river to the hotel or out into the middle of the ocean, they're much more of a target for not just the attack jet, but the stealth jet and a plethora of other vehicles on your team. So oftentimes they will almost not move from the deployment, and then they will try and launch a sneaky TV missile all the way across the map and catch you unawares. So you've always got to be aware of those positionings. Now, unfortunately, I'm just not really finding any infi, or not many of them, to kill at the end of the round here, and that's all we need. It's actually dead even here, 27-27, and they have more flags than us. So the only way we can win this one is if I manage to find some infantry to take out. In hindsight, I probably should not have gone for that tank. If I was paying more attention to the ticket count, I would have thought, you know what, screw the tank or the LAV or whatever it is, and you know, let's just go for infantry. There's one on the roof. Let's get him. Is it Chris? No, it's not, unfortunately. And that's it. That's it. I don't know what happened, guys. We were even Stevens. We were like 30 tickets to 30. I was farming away as best I could, but all of a sudden we just lost those last 20 tickets. So there you go. There's the final scoreboard. Just goes to show kills on everything, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was nice to do a jet domination just for old time's sake. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.